Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you very much, Fancy, for being here first and for being a member of Royal Sussex. Wow, another birthday, Patricia Ann Franklin. I was so unprepared for that. I would have made a card. I'm sorry, but happy birthday and many happy returns of the day. And let's see. Well, okay, we'll do a salsa for you though. And let me see here. Kathy G, members for 46 months. Well, thank you very much for 46 months membership. And thank you, Lydia Washington, for the information. And anyway, we'll get a little workout first. We'll do our salsa first. But we may have to do it again later. All right, here goes. Happy birthday, Patricia Ann Franklin. All right. Happy birthday. And again, many happy returns of the day. All right. All right. All right. Okay. I see Dolores Thomas is getting in the spirit. That's always good. All right. So, what happened behind the scenes of Harper's Bazaar and about last night? You know, from time to time, you'll see that about last night, right? Believe it or not, I don't think anybody really used that term before the 1980s when there was a movie with Rob Lowe, Demi Moore called About Last Night. It was a rom com filmed in, guess where? Chicago. Anyway, and since then, a lot of people use that term. You know what? I haven't seen that movie in ages. I should watch that again. See some images of old Chicago, like the old L trains and such. But anyway, yeah, they called it About Last Night. So um, I guess they were like, it was one of the lines in the movie. That wasn't the original name. But it's just kind of a way of disrupting things and saying, oh, about last night. And then you fill in the rest. So we're going to fill in the rest of what happened with Will and Kate. There is a bit of controversy. Um, well, for us, it might be controversial, but for the derangers, oh, it's everything that they want and then some. But I'm going to try to straighten it out in the meantime. Okay. Oh, just in time. Oh, yes, there we go. Hazel, is that Hazel Jones? Why does that look weird like that? Okay. Anyway, just in time because guess what? It was Hazel Jones' birthday. It's after midnight here, but hey, it is still Hazel Jones' birthday in two time zones here in the U.S. Not to mention Hawaii. It's not her birthday in Hawaii either. But wow, look at that beautiful cake. And this is kind of like I guess, a Japanese inspired theme, right? Got the cherry blossoms. And what could I say? If we had the money, we could send Hazel to Paris for her birthday. But since we couldn't, we're bringing Paris to Hazel. So there you go. And what's this one? Kind of like a retro thing here. I think that was a card that I got from Lydia Washington. I'm crazy about that card. I love was it Lydia Washington? I think maybe. Or is that other one? But anyway, I think it was maybe another card. Or maybe it was this one. Anyway, sometimes I like the designs of cards I get. I actually scan them with my phone and use them as backgrounds. And lastly, Kuna Matata, Hazel. No worries. Now, funny enough, I had to substitute that last part because it was a tuna macata, comma, fill in the blank. Yeah, I think I snatched that off of somebody's social media, but I decided to change it a little bit. But yeah, so Hakuna Matata. But yeah, if it looks familiar to you, then you know it was probably a different word there before. So there's no such thing as perfect. I too get to make mistakes. There's also not a lot of fun in trying to be perfect. So why try to do that if you want to have fun? Yeah, so why try to do that if you want to have fun? Don't. Just don't try to be perfect. Leave room for mistakes. What? Another birthday? Well, happy birthday, Dolores Thomas. And well, I guess I was going to do one more salsa for Hazel Jones. I figured she might come a little bit later. But since it's your birthday too, I'm going to do one more salsa. There we go. All right. Happy birthday. Okay. Now, can we please stop applauding celebrities like Meghan for posing makeup free? Can we? Hell no. We're going to keep applauding because it is very brave, especially in this world when people are so easily triggered by every little thing they see. No, we're not going to stop applauding. We're going to keep applauding. Well, anyway, Katie, what is that? Rosinski? She says the Duchess of Sussex has opted to go for a no makeup look for her Harpers Bazaar cover shoot. But when bare female faces are only acceptable when they are radiant, blemish free, and largely ageless, like Meghan's photo, like those become, what is that? Humble brags? Humble brags. Gosh, what is that? Middle English? Humble brags that do little to inspire or help the rest of us, writes Katie Rosinski. Well, you know, I think the whole point of going makeup free is to, it's like a spiritual thing, right? It's like when someone has been wearing a beard for a long time and they finally shave it off, or someone who has been wearing like very long hair, or if someone's been wearing wigs all the time, or anything that you do to present yourself to the public, whatever mask or shield that you use every day, when you go without that, it can be a very spiritual thing. And to question that, that seems a little self serving as far as I'm concerned. Also, once I read that, I Googled celebrities that have gone barefaced, makeup free. And there happens to be 48 just in this People magazine alone. 48. But guess what? It didn't seem to be a problem until what? Until Meghan. Until Meghan, at least 48 other women have managed to go makeup free without incident. Yeah. And it's women of every race, culture, religion. Let me see. That article came out in September of 2024. Barefaced beauties see 48 stunning no makeup selfies from our favorite stars. Well, for whatever reason, Meghan going makeup free seems to have triggered Ms. Katie Rosinski. I refuse to believe anybody that negative is married. Yeah, she seems to be put off by that. But I wish I could share all of these images, but that would have taken a bit of work that, well, 48. Nah, I didn't want to do that. But anyway, Megan the Stallion and Hathaway. Um, what is it? Kyle Richards. Wears her, oh, Kyle, that's a girl, huh? Wears her hair down and makeup free. Selena Gomez, Kristen Davis, Lily Reinhart, Michelle Pfeiffer, Anne Hathaway, Ariana Grande, Jessica Simpson, Tyra Banks, Kiki Palmer. Oh God, Bethany Frankenstein. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Ashley Tisdale, Vanessa Williams. Oh yes, I remember Vanessa Williams makeup free. And let me tell you, she's brave. She's very brave. Um, I just thought that was stunning that she did that. Only because one of the things that you may not have known about Vanessa Williams, Vanessa Williams has always had a very delicate complexion, to put it mildly. Um, I don't know if she suffered from acne when she was younger or something like that, but yeah, it was it was surprising to see. Although I tell you what, I think she has a great esthetician these days because she looks so much smoother than she did when she was in her 30s. But either way, she's always been a very beautiful woman. But yeah, some people have scars from acne, and that's just a fact of life. Let's see, Bella Hadid, Gwyneth Paltrow, and uh, Demi Moore, Alexander Grant, Lady Gaga, Charlize Theron, Gabrielle Union, Dorinda Medley, Tracy Ellis Ross, Jennifer Garner, Chris Jenner. Yeah, Chris Jenner. Jennifer Lopez. Oh my God, she looks like a kid. Keisha, whoever that is. Heidi Klum, Selma Hayek, Cindy Crawford, Jennifer Gardner, Juliette Lewis, Zendaya. Girl, isn't Zendaya still a teenager? Why even bother? Why even bother? I think she's only just finished high school. Kim Kardashian, Cardi B, Jessica Alba, Chrissy Teigen, Drew Barrymore, Hilary Duff, Simone Biles, Michelle Williams, Busy Bussy Phillips, never heard of her. Sophia Vergara, Ali Reisman, whoever that is, Demi Lovato, Ashley Graham, Alicia Silverstone. I'm going to put the link for this one. Allison Williams, Zoe Zadana. Is that right? Zadana. No, that's not right. Lindsay Lohan, Naomi Watts, and last but not least, Laverne Cox. So there's 48 brave souls who just put it all out there. And when they did that, they were making a statement to other women. Don't be afraid to go makeup free. So, as I promised, I'm going to put the link here. So, if you guys would like to see them, you can. And then I'm going to pin that to the top of the chat just to make it easy for you. There you go. But yeah, so that's what I have to say about that. It's very interesting how nothing is nothing, how anything can be something if it's attached to the Duchess. And yet, you have people who will argue you up and down, back and forth, that the Duchess of Sussex is just not so influential. Well, if she's not influential, what do you call that? You've had, aside from the people I mentioned, let's say there's been 100 celebrities, women that have gone makeup free without incident. And then it doesn't become an issue until Meghan does it. And then she's showing, and Meghan's skin is not flawless. A lot of people would be horrified to have freckles. But she actually leans into it. Yeah, but there's a lot of people. Did you guys know? Let me see if I can find that picture. I'm going to tell you how times have changed, because you do know some people actually apply freckles with makeup. There are also people that have gotten tattoos. So times they are a changing. Okay, I'm going to show you an example. Okay, I think this ought to do just fine. You see that? On the left is a very freckled Joan Crawford. And on the right, there is a made up, and look, you can see the freckles through her makeup. Okay. She's still wearing some heavy war paints. But over here on the right, they actually airbrushed everything away. But if she wasn't wearing the makeup that you see on the left side there, believe me, you would see quite a bit of melanin trying to sneak past her skin. And I think she looks beautiful with her freckles. So there you go. There you go. I think so. I think so. I can barely remember. I remember the little dark haired girl, Punky Brewster, but I don't recall the freckles. but good for her if she did. Yeah, they're babies. They're babies. Well, she's a freelance reporter, which means that she sits around all day sipping tea and trying to think of something to do what? To help herself become relevant. So that's what she does. Yeah. Okay, let me see here. But Joan Crawford, gosh, the freckles she had, and she hid them all those years. Okay, okay. I'm going to show you one more image of her, just to show you how culturally things have changed. One of the most beautiful women in Hollywood, and well, Joan Crawford was a bit of a characterization. You see that? That's the real Joan. And I think that's beautiful. It does nothing to take away from her beauty. But yet, for years, she fought like hell with heavy spackle and war paints and such. Ask Sherwin Williams, right? Ask now, ask how, ask Sherwin Williams. Unnecessary. Be you, boo. Just be you. Or, as a very famous lady once said, and I quote, um, as a matter of fact, this is one of those sage words of advice that I take with me everywhere I go.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You hear me? Ain't nobody got time for that. Right? You tell them, Sweet Brown. You tell them.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Anyway, and just think, if she wouldn't have thought she smelled a barbecue, we may not have received those words of advice. If she wouldn't have got up in the middle of the night to get a cold pop, we might have missed that altogether. If you know, you know. Let's see. Meghan goes barefaced as she poses on the cover of Harper's Bazaar. That was the big story. I'm glad that the Daily Mail used that headline because it's a way to let the derangers know that our Duchess is fearless, of course, and she's as fearless as she is fair and beautiful. So there you go. I have bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Good for you to remember that one. Well, I woke up to get a cold pop and I thought I smelled barbecue. And I ran. I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. uh anyway, um our Duchess looked absolutely fantastic in that Harper's Bazaar, and it has been trending here, there, and everywhere. This young lady right here has been following the Duchess of Sussex, I believe, since 2013. So let's hear the voice of a young person. Okay. All right, young person, tell us what you think.
Cover of Harper's Bazaar this month, and we need to talk about this cover story. It was written by Caitlin Greenwich, and all I have to say is she ate. I've been a fan of Meghan since 2013, and I have literally read every interview she's ever done. I've watched every video. I have consumed all the media there is to consume on Meghan. This article humanizes her in a way that I have rarely seen since she met Harry. I've also met Meghan twice, and reading this piece made me feel like I was sitting across the table from her. It captures her essence, her humor, her warmth, everything about her so beautifully. Greenwich starts the piece with an anecdote about Meghan meeting a group of young women, which I think is such a great way to talk about Meghan's warmth. And then she pairs it with this quote from Meghan. I don't know how any woman could see a young girl and not see herself in her. That is Meghan. That sentence right there is Meghan. And I know that to be true because I experienced that. She saw herself in me when I was 16 years old. And since that day, she has been kind, she has looked out for me, and she has never, ever, ever forgotten me. After that anecdote, Greenwich gives the context of Harry and Meghan's departure from the royal family. The way that an author goes about talking about Megxit tells me everything I need to know. And when I read this paragraph, I was like, buckle up, this is going to be good. She said, it was a cultural inflection point. Was this a refutation of generational trauma or millennials being afraid of hard work? In all those stories, though, Meghan lost her agency and her humanity. Because that is what it boils down to. All of the conversation, everything that happened when Meghan stepped into the royal family had nothing to do with her. She lost her humanity, and this piece gives it back to her. I'm just going to give you one more quote, and if you're still here, you can go read the piece yourself because it's really good, but you don't need me to read this to you. You can go read it. We get a quote from Terry Wood, who worked with Meghan on the Oprah interview and on her podcast Archetypes, about how well Meghan knows her voice and its power. And then we get this. Meghan has acquired a level of fame that is irrevocable. The question becomes, what does one woman do with that amount of power and tricky sort of influence? I find those two sentences so powerful. So powerful because it forces you to look at Meghan a different way rather than the way that the media has portrayed her as someone like vile who clawed their way to the top and only wanted the spotlight. These sentences remind you she didn't ask for this. She didn't ask for this. This is her situation. This is her life. Her level of fame is irrevocable. She can't do anything about it. And all she's trying to do is be happy and to live a life that she's proud of. As I mentioned before, I was here before Harry and I've been here since Harry. So I watched the media frenzy change the entire public's perception of Meghan. I was so in it, I could probably write you a book on how Meghan went from like an actress that some people knew to a household name that everyone and their grandmother have an opinion about pretty much overnight. And that is why reading a piece like this that gives Meghan basic respect and humanity is like a breath of fresh air. It is a sigh of relief. If I get a singular comment on this video that's like, I thought they wanted their privacy, I will tell you this. Having an article written about you that treats you like a human should be the bare minimum, and it is a gold star in the world of conversations about Meghan. And so no, they don't want privacy, and she's gonna take the power back. She's gonna take her voice back, and that is her right. And we're gonna let her do it, and we're gonna cheer her on as she does.
Okay, so that was Dinosaur with 2 R's, Dinosaur 5. And I love this young lady. She is always spot on with her comments. So let's give her some flowers. Sandra, thank you for joining us. Oh, and last night we had a members only with Legs and Hazel Jones. Hey, Legs, it was fantastic. I tell you, the time just really flew by. So if you have a membership, you will be able to watch the the live stream that we did, the members only. Save it for the weekend. If you're in the garden, having tea on your patio or porch or whatever, if you're going out for your walk, save it for that. And just listen and enjoy. I'm sure you will. So much knowledge and everything coming from both Legs and Hazel Jones is so refreshing. Plus, it's nice to hear someone else's voice for a change, I'm sure. So again, thank you both so much for that. It was special, and I really do appreciate it. Okay. Was that an F bomb that one of them slipped out with? Or was it the S word? Anyway, as I said, it's quite all right. That's what the that's what the members onlys are for. Plus, I think maybe don't quote me on this, but the AI that they are using with this particular platform, I think they are better able to understand when things are in certain contexts. Um, and that's good because I tell you, when all of that stuff was coming out about Andrew the sick old man, I made a couple videos, and both of them could not be monetized because they go into a panic over certain things when it first happens. But hopefully, if they are using um, artificial intelligence, that is one thing that I hope that they can work out because unless you're a big news organization on this platform, certain language they don't like. That's why you always hear people saying grape and all that kind of stuff. Well, they don't mean grapes, but they are trying to avoid problems. So, and I can understand that because they don't know what context you're using it in. So, um, but hopefully the AI will help. Okay, moving on. This was posted on Beyonce's social media. I believe that's what it says there. Let me take one more look just so I can be sure. Was it or no? Wait a minute. Maybe I grabbed the wrong one, but I believe on Beyonce's publicist. Oh, her publicist stories too, not Beyonce's. Big love to Yvette for always showing Meghan love. Okay, very good. I would have been surprised if Beyonce did because yeah. Yeah, thanks. I just saw that. I knew it was some reason I grabbed it, and then when I didn't see Beyonce, I'm just like, no, wait a minute. I was looking up there at the top, but thank you for that. Okay, so Kris Jenner Instagram post silence Meghan's feud rumors. You Kris Jenner, um, Doria, and a few other moms in the business or close to the business. They all seem to get on very well with each other. We really do not know what happened with the party. We have some statements, right? But as you can see, I stopped talking about it because it was like a real killjoy, and I just could not be bothered with that. It was dragging on and on and on for no good reason. Um, but what could I say? A mom is a mom, and that's just the way it go. And so, oh, oh my goodness, I got 1,000 things open here, don't I? Okay, give me a second while I close some of these. Okay, all of this can go. There we go. Yeah, sometimes I have windows hidden behind other windows. It might be like 10 screens open behind another 10 screens. And that is definitely not a good thing. That'll slow everything down, run the risk of getting locked out or something like that. So, anyway, I addressed it and I feel better now. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so according to Feminegra, Meghan Sussex appeared at the Kris Jenner 70th birthday party, as we know. A few photos were posted on Kris' Instagram. Then they disappeared. That was all it took for the media to twist a routine social event into a full blown scandal. And you guys, I have said this many times. I don't know Jeff Bezos, but the way that they're constantly dragging him, the man started this huge corporation in his garage. And if any of us had done the same thing, we would probably be the focus of so much negative attention too. Yes, he's a bit eccentric, and it is what it is. But I resent the idea that they're constantly calling him tacky and all the other people in the room. As an American, we don't have a royal family. We've had Hollywood. Um, you could say that royalty in the US didn't really start until the film industry, and we haven't looked back. And a lot of people enjoy it. And also, there are the recording artists. So you got films, recordings, and so on and so forth. That is our royalty. Not officially, of course, but we rather enjoy it. And there's not a lot of envy. We just like, wow, look at the size of that house. Look at their private plane. So, anyway, I'm straying a bit from this article, but that really does frustrate me because the people that are saying that they're celebrating a 1,000-year-old monarchy where people routinely are given a fortune just for being an accident of birth, but yet someone who has worked very hard for their wealth is being dragged through the media like that. Now, yes, I know about the employees and all that kind of stuff, but what can I say? That's pretty consistent across the industry. And I don't like it, but I still admire the fact that someone started a almost $1 trillion company in their garage, and it all happened in their lifetime. So I think that is something to behold. Anyway, whether he's a nice person or not, I don't know, and I don't care. So to continue with this, that was all it took for the media to twist a routine social event into a full-blown scandal. Articles rushed to paint Meghan as disruptive. Oh, always Meghan, isn't it? Social media piled on. Royal commentators acted as if a deleted Instagram story was a matter of global importance. But none of them stopped to ask the obvious question: who benefits from turning this into a feud? Because it wasn't, right? Because it wasn't Meghan. Who benefits? It wasn't Meghan. And it wasn't Kris Jenner. It wasn't about Meghan. It was not about Kris Jenner. What followed wasn't journalism, it was targeted character destruction built on familiar tactics. The British press needs Meghan to be a villain. And some American gossip blogs are happy to help. But as usual, the fact gets in the way. And in this case, the clearest fact is that Kris Jenner supported Meghan openly on Instagram by resharing her post and liking it. Again, by resharing her post and liking it. By the way, you guys, I don't ever watch Perez Hilton, ever. Before I forget to mention this, I was totally gobsmacked. Perez Hilton said that he complimented Prince Harry as being very brave to leave the royal family. And then he went on to say that Harry has wanted to leave the royal family long before he met Meghan. Do you guys know that a lot of people unfollowed him? A lot. Enough for him to almost appeal to them. Let's have a difference of opinion, but you don't need to stop following me. That's pretty much what he was saying. But he spoke truth. He spoke truth. And it just reminded me how much pressure there is for the numbers, for the sake of the numbers, to pretend otherwise, to pretend like Meghan is what caused him to leave his family back in the UK. And we all know that that wasn't the case. Let's see. Perez is the Dan Wooten of the US. Gross and pathetic. I'll second that. Thank you so much, Legs. Remember when those kids got him kicked off of TikTok and he was crying? Those kids got him ticked. He was literally going to war with teenagers. So when Legs says he's gross, trust and believe he is very gross, and he is very much like Dan Wooten, too old to be such a you know, okay, I don't want to use those terms, but too old for that mess. And especially going to war with children. Very odd. But I was still very shocked that he lost so many people over Harry's leaving the royal family. I didn't know he had a big following for royal gossip, to be honest with you. I know he talks about the Sussexes on occasion, not in a flattering way to the Duchess of Sussex from anything I've ever seen. But yeah, he never comes up on my feed. But that I saw, which I thought was interesting. You see what happens? There is a price to be paid when they tell the truth. And that reminds you when you're like looking at Tom Sykes or something like that, which I've had to leave Tom Sykes alone because the few times that he is truthful is outweighed by the 99% of the times that he is very toxic. So I'm done with Tom Sykes. If there's any quotes, believe me, it came from someone else. So I'm not saying I'm never going to talk about him again. But as for watching his content, now that's too stressful. Too stressful. But again, thank you so much for your comment, Lex. Kris Jenner threw a birthday party. Meghan and Harry showed up. That should have been the end of it. The press used a birthday party to drag Meghan again. But two group photos vanished from Instagram. And that's all it took. The same outlets that swore Meghan was an outsider in Montecito and ignored in Hollywood suddenly cared about her proximity to Kris Jenner. They saw an opportunity and pounced. They saw an opportunity and pounced. Media push false headlines after Meghan attends Kris Jenner's party. This image shows the smear. Okay, so those are the images I have up there. Yep, that's exactly what it does. Connie Bomber! Hey, Connie Bomber. From the Daily Mail to Fox News, the narrative was clear. Meghan demanded photos be removed. She allegedly overreacted. She apparently threw a tantrum, right? That's what they said. And without any credible evidence, these claims became headlines. The source, a mix of anonymous insiders, Royal commentators and click-hungry editors who couldn't resist turning another Meghan appearance into a national and international emergency. The media called her behavior ungrateful. They mocked her outfit and questioned her motive for attending. And they did all while ignoring how often the same script is recycled. Rinse and repeat, recycled. How little it holds up and how quickly it falls apart under basic scrutiny. Kris Jenner broke the silence with several clicks. Nearly 2 weeks after the party, Meghan shared a thank you message to Harper's Bazaar for her cover feature. It featured her magazine shoot. Kris Jenner liked it, uh, liked the post, not by accident, not privately. She also shared it on her own story. In doing so, she destroyed an entire narrative because it was real tension. Why would Jenner support her so publicly? Because there's no there, I would imagine. Oh, by the way, let me show you. There it is right there. This wasn't a neutral gesture. A woman known for managing the most scrutinized family in pop culture made her position known without fanfare. And this wasn't the first time. Jenner had also promoted Meghan's holiday project with Netflix earlier in the month. The same project the press claimed was struggling for attention. Funny how the queen of media management didn't seem to agree. So Meghan Sussex echoes Diana's truth, and press can't handle it. The media wants the world to dislike Meghan because the royal account supports a pattern that long predates her marriage. This week marks the anniversary of Princess Diana's BBC interview with Martin Bashir, where she spoke openly about the hostile treatment inside the royal system. Even with the debate over how Bashir secured that interview, the content still stands since it came after Andrew Morton's book, Diana, Her True Story. It exposed a culture that punished anyone who did not fit the preferred mold, including members of the family who were not in direct line of succession. Meghan's own experience echoes that history, and that makes her a threat to the narrative the press protects. Before she married, Meghan had no public record of negative behavior, instability, or cruelty. She built a career without scandal and earned respect in her own field. The shift came the moment she stepped inside the royal world. After she left, the hostility did not fade, it intensified. There is now a coordinated attempt to frame her as the problem and diminish her influence in the United States. This effort serves a single purpose. If Meghan is discredited, then the criticism Diana voiced can be framed as isolated. Part of a clear and painful royal pattern facing popular women who marry into the royal family. Okay, so we're just about done. The British media needs this feud to stay alive. What really bothers them is simple. Meghan left the royal family and didn't disappear. She moved to California, signed major deals, built her own media company, and stayed married to the prince who, according to her, love me so boldly, fully. Even, I'm sorry, every appearance she makes in Hollywood proves the old narrative wrong. Every partnership, every red carpet, every publication proves the system she walked away from has less power than they want to admit. Kris Jenner supporting Meghan disrupts that. So the media needs a feud, or more aptly, they need the public to believe that there is one. The media wants Jenner to be offended. They want Hollywood to turn cold. They need to believe Meghan is unwelcome, because if she isn't, then what was the point of the last 6 years of attacks? If Meghan fits in, then their entire storyline collapsed. But Kris Jenner didn't play along. She shared several of Meghan's posts, and those actions revealed more than any tabloid headline ever could. So, thank you, Feminagra, for another great article. Okay, let me see what we have here. All right. Let's take a look at a couple of your comments here. Yeah, Chris, I'm sorry, not Chris. What am I saying, Chris? Rupert Murdoch. He knew that that type of journalism could work in the UK. Uh, Journalism in the UK was not so great to begin with. And believe it or not, there was a time in the US, you may have heard the term yellow journalism, when someone like a William Randolph Hearst would flex his power as though he was a Rupert Murdoch. And he would go after people using his vast newspaper empire. So we've had experience with that here. But after Hearst, of course, there were still some newspapers that would do a hatchet job. But the idea of taking over newspapers, magazines, and coordinating these attacks with television stations, television networks, that is something that William Randolph Hearst could have never dreamed of. But if it was available, he probably would have done it too. Plus, deregulation, where you can own so many media outlets or so many types of media. If it wasn't for the deregulation, it probably wouldn't have happened to the degree that it has here in the US. But because, and I still remember when Bill Clinton, of all people, Bill Clinton, who was one of the biggest targets, he had a big scheme to deregulate, allowing people to own more media in a single market, which was a huge mistake, because the FCC, they have to approve certain what do you call it, mergers and such, certain purchases. They have to approve that. It's like getting a liquor license. If they deem you unfit, then you probably will not be able to consolidate or make certain purchases. But money talks, and people with deep pockets, they start spreading that money around Hollywood, and next thing you know, I mean, not Hollywood, but Congress, and next thing you know, the common everyday working American, well, they're the ones that suffer. I haven't talked about this much, but I'll give you an idea of how um, when they lobby the politicians, the lobbyists. Bill Clinton gave a task, a job, to Al Gore to look into airline safety. And Al Gore chaired a committee, and they came up with some ideas like reinforce the cockpit doors, um, check every piece of luggage, and do a screening on everyone who flies, right? Some kind of database. Those were the recommendations. The airlines did not want to spend the money. So they went to Washington and started spreading that money around the Capitol. And next thing you know, um, a lot of those safety precautions that they had come up with, if not all of them, they were completely obliterated. They were dead on arrival. And of course, had they done those things, including reinforcing the cockpit door, maybe 9/11 wouldn't have happened. And then what happened after 9/11? They retrofitted every aircraft with a reinforced door for the cockpit. It's like that old saying, whether you pay now or you pay later, you still got to pay. Let's see. SMDOU, is it Smudal? Thank you so much for becoming a member of Royal Sussex. And remember, memberships to Royal Sussex start at the low price of just $4.99. So for the price of about $5, what you might pay for a cup of coffee, you too can have a membership to Royal Sussex. You'll be able to go and listen to those members-only chats. You'll be able to use those fancy stickers we have available. So I would say consider it, please. It goes a long way to help support this channel. All right, so thank you again, Feminegra. Well, isn't that interesting? Bit of a coincidence, right? I'm sure it is. There's Meghan on the left, and of course, the People's Princess on the right. Now, as you know, much will be said about this, as they always do, and we know exactly the tone that they're going to take. And in order to do that, they have to ignore, this. Take a look on the left side. The other day, is it just me, or did Kate do a bit of a copycat? Did she channel her stepmother, mother-in-law, through her outfit choice? I'm just saying. At least Meghan's not wearing the same thing. I'm sure this happened completely by chance, whereas this seems quite deliberate, and this is just a few. And while we're on the subject of clothing, I just wanted to share you the recent outfits that Kate has worn, in case you haven't seen this picture before. This is the Kate effect. They insist that Kate has an effect of her own, and her effect is just like, a matter of fact, is better than the Meghan effect. Let them tell it. It is far superior to Meghan's effect on the fashion industry. Why, if Kate wears something, she can do something that Meghan cannot do, and that is shut down the entire company. Yes, a clothing company that has been financially solvent for years. All it takes is for Kate to take interest in their clothes, and next thing you know, they are shuttering the place. Yeah, they're going to shut it down. They are disconnecting the power, the phones, the plumbing. There will be nothing left but an empty shell. Leave it to Kate Middleton. There won't be much of a company left. So if you're ask me, is Kate more powerful than Meghan when it comes to the fashion industry? Yes, because Meghan has not shut down a single factory. If anything, they've hired more people. They built new wings for the production. But in Kate's case, oh, she is so powerful. She's like, what is that? The Scarlet Witch on Marvel Comics? Yes, you cannot even understand the power that she has. One minute you're, what is that dress company? Um, is it Frankenstein's wife or what is that dress? That green dress that she loves so much. The innkeeper's wife. Oh, isn't that weird? I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, one minute they're in business, next thing you know, Kate has wiped them out. Um, something wife. Mm, oh my goodness. Isn't that weird? I cannot remember it. Oh, vampire. Thank you. The vampire's wife. That's it. The vampire's wife dress. I think she had like that pink or fuchsia, and she had a green one that she used for an official portrait. Either way, thanks to Kate's interest in that company, they are kaput. They are gone out of business. They are going to the scrap heap of history. Well, nice going, Kate. Thanks to her, another one bites the dust. All of those workers covering up their Juki sewing machines, putting their little covers, dust covers over their machine for the last time. All of the what do you call that? All of the dust and loose threads blowing across the floor. Yes, total wipeout. You're absolutely right. Total wipeout. Oh, and here's another person who has tried to channel another famous person. So believe me, it's not restricted to Kate Middleton. Even some of the journalists, some of the so-called royal experts, sometimes they decide that they will copy off of, you know what I'm saying? So there's Jan Marr, and I tell you, at this point, I'm not sure if she's on the right or on the left. Will the real Jan Marr please stand up? See what I mean? You can't tell. How do you know? It's almost impossible. I look left, I look right, I'm just not sure. Oh, check it out, Tiffany. Tiffany has gotten the rest of her order. She has her brute. You see it back there? And it looks like she has a candle back there. Good for you, Tiffany. I knew Tiffany would come through for Meghan. I just knew she would. Every time we see Tiffany, she's always at a deer. I don't know how many properties she has. You know, I think she has a home in the south of France, a condominium in Manhattan, right? Something out there in LA. So, yeah, she has, I guess, deep pockets. Deep pockets. But yeah, don't forget, you'll see Kelly McGee Zafin and Tiffany on the next, on the Christmas episode of With Love, Megan. So I'm looking forward to that. I wonder how Tiffany is going to cook and hold that champagne at the same time. That's going to be interesting to watch. I would pay good money for that. I don't know, Mary H. It just, when you're on social media, when you see the resemblance, it's hard to not see it. So I guess that's the answer. But yeah, so this is, oh, I cannot wait for the Christmas show. Let's see. Tiffany is definitely there for the drinks. Yes, she's there for the drinks. Um, Now I don't know if that's Tiffany or if that is her. I'm going to assume that that's her great grandma, something like that, with Gary Cooper. Yeah. And see, back in those days, you could drive and drink at the same time. But yeah, there's Tiffany um, in the driver's seat of that Duesenberg. How cool is that? Well, not Tiffany, but Tiffany's great grandma. So cool. I guess she was a hoe too. No, I'm just kidding. Tiffany is far too sophisticated for all that. She has her own money. She doesn't have to work. Okay, so Bazaar as ever, little wordplay. Bazaar as ever. Now, I took the bait. I took the bait. I did. I took the bait. What in the world are they talking about? Well, when Megan met with the uh, whoever the lady was that interviewed her, right? When she met with that person, she was at a friend's house, and that person introduced her to the journalist, the writer, whatever she is. Well, what should I say? Whatever title she uses, and she apparently, according to the article, introduced Megan as well. They just, said the Duchess of Sussex, Megan, the Duchess of Sussex, and then Megan walks into the room. Now, I have a theory about that. The tabloids, in this case, Mark Duell, that writer, he wants people to believe that Meghan requests that people say that. I don't believe that. I believe that some people take it upon themselves to do what they think is the proper thing to do. You got to understand, Americans are not born into that system. And some people really do want to do the right thing. And so occasionally you will have someone who would bow or curtsy for members of the royal family. You will have people that want to try to get that person's title correct. They don't want to make a mistake. And so this person took it upon themselves to introduce her. It's no big deal. It is really no big deal. But they said it was improper and that Megan is telling people to do that. If that was the case, we would have heard about this much sooner. Now, if it was me, I know how I am. I'm a bit of a, I like to have a little fun. So I probably would have been like, ladies and gentlemen, that kind of thing. Especially if we're amongst friends. I'm sure a lot of Megan's friends have fun with it. I'm sure Megan has fun with it. And it's okay. Just like when William was sitting with those guys and he made some joke about how the Uber Eats or whoever the pizza delivery guy, he made a little joke about this guy that he may get tackled by the royal protection. And it was all in fun. It was all in fun. No different than Dolly Parton making fun of herself. Dolly Parton says, it costs a lot of money to look this cheap. So who knows whether it was Meghan's humor, whether it was her host, or just simply someone trying to do their job as best possible. And so they thought, oh, well, I've seen this on TV, so I'm going to introduce her accordingly. I think it was just that innocent. However, that does not fit the narrative of trying to condemn Meghan for every little thing that happens, even if she's not responsible for it. If her name is brought up, then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, she did it. Yeah, it was her. Lex says, first, it's her name. Second, they need to quit pretending that that she is using her title for success. Lastly, these people just flipped because of Kate's name. Yes, thank you so much for that, Lex. You are absolutely right. And in case you all have missed that, the other day, the BBC, someone referred to her as Kate Middleton at one of those war remembrance things. And apparently, there was a huge backlash. And of course, the BBC had to apologize to St. Catherine of Middlebum. They had to apologize to St. Catherine of Middlebum, of Buckleberry Bun. So, yes, thank you very much for that, Legs. Okay, so as I said, much to do about nothing. As you can see on the cover, it says Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, meets her moment. That is her title, and that is her role and position as a senior member of the British royal family. Now, whether they like it or not, she is considered a senior royal. She is a member of the family. All of those titles and honors were conveyed for the sake of her husband. That is what comes along with his birthright. That's why I hate the idea of them giving up something, because if anybody in that family deserves it, if anyone in that family has worked for it, it has been Prince Harry. Yeah. All they have to do is just stop talking about her. If they really want Meghan to stop being so popular, if they really want people to stop talking about Meghan, then just stop talking about her. At any time, they could just leave her alone. Now, I don't know if there's a connection between the level of abuse that has been thrown Meghan's way and the amount of money they have. But if that is just a unfortunate coincidence, then I hope they will be billionaires soon. I really do, because I feel they deserve it. For everything that they've been put through, they deserve that money. And I hope they get it. And I am going to help them 1 canister of flower petals at a time. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Oh, S, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Now, I don't know how true this is. One of the only place I saw this was on someone's page on Twitter. So, I don't know what to think of this. And it seems like they have, is that 4 different articles? 5? And I don't know when, I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what it means, but I don't know. I don't know if this is believable. But then why is several of them? I mean, it seems like a brief from Kensington Palace. Winsome Jones, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So you see what I mean? Now, just in case you cannot see that, I mean, I hate to say what I'm seeing, but anyway, I guess let me get past this because I don't know if it should be believed. Prince William agrees to accelerate bringing Harry back campaign as Andrew is ousting has placated. Prince William agrees to bring Harry back campaign. Yeah, I don't know what to believe with that. You all help me out. Have you heard anything similar to that? Because I haven't. This is the only place I've seen this was on this post on someone's account. And as they say, so it begins. They want Harry back. Notice Meghan isn't mentioned because William and Kate still aren't willing to get off their hind parts to work, and people complain George should be left alone. I'd love it if Harry said no. Interesting, right? I'd love it if Harry said no. This is the first and only place I've seen this. It looks like some type of leak or brief that has come from KP. Okay, let me see here. Well, thank you, Black Lily. Yeah. Okay. Well, interesting. I don't suppose anybody else has seen this, so I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe it's just clickbait. Maybe that's all it is, clickbait, not even a brief from KP. Interesting. Yeah, I only noticed it because it seems like there's at least 5 publications that are saying the same thing. And I'm just like, if this was a real story, it would probably have gotten a lot of attention, right? But because it hasn't. Because, as much as I keep up with the Sussexes, this was the first time me seeing it. I just don't feel like there's anything to it. Okay. Well, let's move on. What do you think? What do you think? Someone decided to create a wax figure of Princess Diana. Now, I've seen some really great wax figures of Princess Diana. This is not one of them. This one is not good. The bosoms are massive. The bosoms are massive. I feel like a 13-year-old kid was given the task to do this. Yep. I feel like a 13-year-old was told, you know what, you little pubescent child, why don't you make a statue of a woman? And this is what he's come up with. The bosoms are huge. So yeah, not good. Okay, and that's not the only problem. A little bit too masculine. It's very subtle. It's very subtle, but just a little bit too masculine for some reason. Do you guys see that? It's very subtle, but just a tinge too masculine. It should not be that way. Let's see. Leg says it is better than wank in Poland. Thank you very much for that, Legs. And of course, as they say, when in Poland, grab a pulled pork sandwich. Tell me more about your pulled pork sandwich. Yeah, so I think they really missed it with this one. Not a good job. It's very subtle, but something went wrong. The eyes are not right. The eyes are like Liberace or something. Yeah, the eyes are not right. And the nose, I think the nose is not soft enough. Yes, something has gone terribly wrong. Hey, Big Mama's in the house. You know, at this point, because of the way they left it with the Sussexes, even if they wanted to do something, the whole idea, the wholesale rejection of the half in, half out. That will, yeah, that will make it difficult for anything like this to work. If they did want Harry back, the whole idea of half in, half out, the press would stay on that 24 hours a day. They'll be quoting the late Queen and all that. So I just don't think it's possible. I don't think it's what Harry wants, and I don't think it's possible. And I do not believe that that's what our Duchess would want. Them having free reign over so many parts of their life, being able to come and go without worrying about what other members of the royal family are doing. Who would want to trade that in because if that happens, it will only be because they want to be able to tell the Sussexes when they can and cannot work, or should I say, make public appearances. And even worse, what if they insist that someone from that part of the world becomes a staff member to them, like appointing a courtier? That would be frightening. But I guarantee you that would probably be part of it. Like their own little resident spy. So, double standards is wild. British journalists will write essays about Meghan's shoes, yet tiptoe around the obvious. That Kate Middleton has been wasting away and looking unwell for years. Even a blind man can see it, and this started, that is, long before the alleged cancer. Yeah, Kate has been very small, very, very super slender for a long, long time. It says here, Catherine Slender Frame. Oh, yeah, that is a Tom Sykes article. Catherine's slender frame sparks questions online. It would be remiss of me to not bring to readers' attentions the fact that the royal, what is that, watchers? Oh, you know what? Let me put this on a bigger screen. Okay, that is so much better. Okay, it would be remiss of me to not bring to my readers' attention the fact that the royal watchers on social media are discussing little else tonight other than the Princess of Wales' slender frame. Really? I guess the derangers are alarmed by it, maybe? Okay. They went there. That's all I can say is they went there. And then it says a very short and very reluctant article indeed, yet Sykes happily writes dissertations bashing Meghan. So I guess the picture below, I think that continues from the first part of Tom Sykes' article. And it says, Catherine and William were at the Royal Variety performance in London today. When these new photos were taken, I have downloaded them from my Getty image to, needless to say, they have not been modified in any way by me. So again, I think that's Tom Sykes who grabbed those. And if you don't understand that Getty image, these are the images that are sold to magazines, newspapers, media of any sort. They also have videos. So when they sell these images to, let's say, to the Daily Mail, to the Sun, whatever newspaper, even to magazines, and even as a content creator myself, I am able to purchase photos that I want. Now, if I want to, let's say, play with the tint or whatever I want to do with the photo, it's mine. I just purchased it. So what was interesting today is that as I was scrolling through Instagram, I saw a kid who was standing in front of a shop window. And he said, my friends have been contacting me all day saying that I didn't know you did an ad for Nike. And he said, I did not do an ad for Nike. So he goes to that shop and he's looking at an image of himself sitting on the curb wearing some designer, not Nike, but I don't know, Adidas or something like that. But he's a model. And when they took that picture, they could sell it. Or it's in the public domain where you can just use it. And so that's what the shoe store, they used his image and they did not have to notify him at all. So the Getty images are what a lot of squatties use when we want to see what the tabloids are hiding. And so if you ever see where it says Getty image, then that means that that is a raw photo, or at least it should be, and it has not been altered in any way. Or maybe it hasn't by the time you've seen it. So that's all. That was a long way of me telling you what that means. But I guess it will be a little important soon. Because take a look at that. I don't like Kate because she's a horrible, oh, they left it at that. I don't like Kate because she's a horrible, I guess they meant to say person, princess. Anyway, horribly lazy person, whatever they meant to say, I'll fill in the blank. But this is scary. Somebody needs to get her into a hospital with an IV. People need to stop pretending they don't see it and trying to find excuses. Trying to find excuses for it. Her left arm, that's not muscle. That's bone. It's sticking out, shaking my head. There's a lot of people that are upset. There's a lot of people that are upset. And there are people who are supportive of those two that are horrified by these images. Absolutely horrified. So according to one follower of the Sussexes, they believe that Kate is wearing what they call wiglets. Yeah. Wiglets, and those wiglets are used to bring volume to your hair. They're like little wig pieces, and you can just stick them here or stick them there. You can brush them, they'll stay in, and yeah. So wow. What people won't do for beauty, huh? All right, we'll take a look here. Now, the other thing is, this is why I say what really happened. I don't want to be a killjoy, but William didn't kiss Catherine's hand. I guess from another angle, it looks like that's what happened. But from here, you can clearly see it didn't. He didn't. William did look like he grabbed something, but he didn't kiss his wife's hand, unfortunately. So if you've seen that video, then you know that it appeared as though he took her hand. And even if he did motion to kiss her hand, it was never completed. I'm trying to say it was like an air kiss, but I don't think that's what it was. To me and to several other people, including some of the fans of Will and Kate, they believe that that William was not trying to kiss her hand. that it was something else. It appears as though they were looking for something. I don't know. Let me see if I can grab that video for you. Okay, let me see. Where's that video? Okay, that didn't work out. Let me try that again. Okay, 1 second, you guys. Oh, why am I doing this the hard way? Let me try this. Okay, one more time. You can clearly see that he picked up something to examine it. Maybe her purse looks like a flask or something. Let me do that again. What do you think? What do you think? Whatever it was or was not, it certainly was not a kiss. That was not him kissing her hand. Elaine Parker, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for joining us in these wee hours of the morning. So, yeah, the Daily Mail was going with this whole cock and bull story about William kissing Kate's hand. They had a big, headline and everything. I'm sorry, but I just don't believe that that's accurate. I don't know if he was looking for I don't know. He was looking for something. But it seemed like they were delayed exiting the vehicle because they were looking for something. Yes, yes, the reaction from Meghan and Harry kissing on the trailer. They wanted some kind of equivalent, even if it was false. Yep, that's probably what's going on here. Let's do that video one more time. Okay, one more time. Let me see if I can just kind of. Well, I tell you guys, I can't be for certain what's going on, but I do not believe it was a kiss. It seems like he picked up his purse, and William does wear glasses. Okay. Let me say this. William does wear glasses. And at the age of 40, that's when you start to need reading glasses. That's when your up close vision is not what it used to be. And lastly, the flash. There's a lot of lights flashing. With that a level of flashing lights, that might make it difficult to find something you're looking for. So that's that. Oh, let's see. He looks for the camera before and after. Yeah, and it was a delay. It was a delay. The car, they sat in the car for a couple seconds. It was like a pregnant pause. Okay. It was what we refer to as a pregnant pause. So sorry, derangers, if you're hate watching, that clearly was not a kiss on Kate's hand. Yep. Let's see. William Middlebaum looks the same as Kate Middlebaum, losing weight and their minds. Kate Middlebaum whole motive is to break up with the Sussex family. I don't trust her. Thank you very much for that. She's a mean girl. So let's see. This person says would never do that at a public event. Heineke, what is that? Heineke says doubt he would ever do that with cameras this close. Great point. Another person said it seems like they were checking something in the compartment between the two seats. I saw that, but even so, I had to watch the video again just in case. Okay. They were checking for something. Like some rheumatism medicine. For me, he handed her her purse. You know, that's what I initially thought it was just handing off her purse. And then what else do we have here? Yeah, initially, I thought the same thing because she seemed to be looking for something too. You know, I'm going to say that they have, if there's anything that Kate is good at, if there's anything William is good at, that's getting out of the car and getting as far away from it as possible, as soon as possible. So it seemed like whatever they were looking for, they should have already had it there with them or something. I don't know. Okay. And look at Kate's face. Look at how puzzled she looks. Right? What is it they lost? Was it I mean, after all, we are talking about the Prince of Pegging. Do you think it was something for the Prince of Pegging? You know what I mean? Did something slide out of his cuff? Huh. Did something slide down his pants leg and out of his cuff? Did he feel something hit his shoe? I'm just asking for a friend. Mm, that's bad. What happened? Did he cough? Mm. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. He coughed and then he lost something. And it just so happened to exit down one leg of his pants. Woo! Okay, Compton Cali gal, I see you. Oh well, whatever it is, I'm pretty sure that the people that clean their cars and everything, they'll find it. They'll find it. It must have been good, but it's over now. Should have been good, but I lost it somehow. It must have been good, but it's over now. Now, again, yesterday I made remark about maybe she should have wore gloves. But today I feel like I'm being a bit insensitive because this may very well be someone who's in a lot of trouble, and to the likes of which God, this is hard for me to say, to the likes of which she has my sympathy. Oh, there you go. There, I said it. But that does not look normal. And that is what people are talking about, is how, how gaunt, haggard they both appear to be. But in Kate's situation, it's just like skin and bone, literal skin and bone. That is not very healthy looking. What'd you say? Drop her off first, huh? Like, okay, I'll catch up. Hey, didn't that happen? Didn't that happen where they went somewhere and William dropped her off and he continued someplace else? That really did happen, I believe. Now, these photos came from one of the squatties, but it doesn't matter where it comes from. It is the context of it that causes a spot of bother, a worry. Yep, the proof is in the pudding. I know, Connie Balmer. I know what is going on. What is going on? And this predates the cancer diagnosis or the precancer cells. Clearly, this predates that. And as Celebrity said, oof, the Royal Variety wiglets almost took flight. Whatever anyone has to say about the Duchess of Sussex, they really want people to believe that the that Meghan was trying to dress like Kate or trying to dress like Princess Diana. I don't believe that, but I do believe that that's exactly what Kate has been trying to do, dress like both Meghan and Diana. Meghan's night out looked nothing like hers. She kept it very simple, chic, and elegant. This was a bit of a tragedy. Very saddened by what happened to our Miss Universe Jamaica, Dr. Gabrielle Henry, at the Miss Universe finals in Thailand. Spoke with Gabrielle's mom, who is with her in Thailand. The entire country is praying for you, Gabrielle, and wishing you a full and speedy recovery. Isn't that sad? She walked right off the stage. Walked right off the stage. And as you can see there on the right side, the paramedics are taking her away. I don't know what type of injury she has, but she is very hurt. She just misstepped. She was walking around the stage in her formal wear, and the next thing you know, her foot missed the stage and down she went, poor thing. Something is seriously wrong with Will and Kate. They look like they came fresh off the sidewalk of downtown Vancouver, and that's putting it nicely. Thank you very much, Lizzie Beth. Yeah. Yeah, because it's not just one of them, it's the both of them. It is really the both of them. They look spiritually hollowed. Not just physically hollowed, but spiritually hollowed. And if there's any truth to the idea that there's talk of Harry coming back, it could only be in response to William's situation, such as it is right now. That is the only reason why I could think that they might actually deliberately, want Harry to come back. Not Meghan, just Harry. I think that if someone was, let's say, if you were like friends with them in private, you were a friend of theirs, and then all of a sudden you start seeing the two of them absent for long periods, and then when you see them again, they look like this. It would make you think, what is going on? How much do I really know these people? So we dare not say the quiet parts out loud, but there are programs to work with everything. And I do mean everything. So oh well. Best of luck to them. Thank you so much for the super chat, Lizzie Beth. Oh, yeah, I wanted to share this because I didn't know anything about her, and I thought I would share that with you all too. And yeah, there we go. So it says here, where brilliance meets beauty and purpose shines beyond the spotlight, from saving lives in the clinic to winning hearts on the world stage, Dr. Gabrielle Henry has proven that intelligence, compassion, and elegance are an unstoppable trio. Recently crowned Miss Universe Jamaica in 2025, this remarkable medical doctor now carries her nation's hope to the Miss Universe platform, a symbol of grace, grit, and glowing ambition. Her journey is a powerful reminder that women can excel in multiple arenas, healing, leading, and inspiring, all while staying authentically themselves. As she steps onto the global stage, she not only represents Jamaica, but also inspires countless young women across the Caribbean and beyond to embrace both their intellect and their dreams. So we got to give her some flowers, right? Got to give her some flowers. Yes, beautiful. Very nice. Okay, we are in the home stretch, you guys. This happened today or yesterday. Chadwick Boseman received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And what I thought was really touching is that his widow, who you see there in the green outfit, she brought a pair of his shoes. She placed his shoes right there near the star, symbolic of course, the fact that he could not be there. And of course, if there's any item that we wear that is extremely important to us, that is our shoes, because it is with our shoes that we are able to walk. And if you can walk, then you might be able to travel and see a lot more of this world. So I thought it was poignant. Yeah, very, very touched by that. And of course, our faves. What can I say about our faves? This has been a very busy year for both Harry and Meghan, but in particular, the Duchess of Sussex. Don't forget the Masaka Kids, A Rhythm Within. That is going to premiere, what day is that? On the 9th of December. And on the 3rd of December, With Love, Meghan. Right? With Love, Meghan. And with that, you guys, I am done. Thank you so much for your patience and your kindness. Thank you for the super chats and the super stickers. Okay. Love you guys. I will see you all next time. Thank you, moderators, and happy birthday to everyone who celebrated their birthday yesterday.